The most beautiful sound in the world I ever heard.
Maria, 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 Maria.
All of the beautiful sounds of the world in a single word.
Maria, 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 Maria.
Maria! I just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. Maria, I just kissed a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Maria, say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria, 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 Maria. Say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria. The most beautiful sound of the world I ever heard. Maria. West Side Story, released in 2021 and is directed by Steven Spielberg, who I'll put my foot down right now is the greatest film director to have ever graced this planet Earth. And this film is starring Ansel Elgort, David Alvarez, Mike Faist, the absolutely wonderful Rita Moreno, and introducing an angel from the gods in Rachel Zegler. And I know in my last review that I said that I was going to be reviewing Operation Fortune this past weekend, but it's just not a good time for me to get out into the theaters. I couldn't get out. To be honest, I'm taking care of a dying cat, so I wanted to spend as much time with her as I possibly could, and I bought this movie last week for my birthday, and I figure, you know what? Why not? And also, the Oscars are this coming weekend. It's the perfect time to review this because it is nominated for Best Picture. And it absolutely deserves it just in story alone because this is one of the greatest love stories to have ever graced this earth. In the late 1950s, Manhattan is attempting an upgrade by tearing down old apartment buildings and erecting very tall and shiny new structures. And caught in the middle of this is two rival gangs who love their island of Manhattan so much that they'll do anything to get rid of the other gang. We have sharks who are Puerto Rican immigrants looking to make a new life for themselves, and we have the Sharks who are a bunch of white boys trying to defend their turf. Caught in between the scuffle, though, is a madly in love couple in Tony and Maria. They are madly in love with each other and will do anything to stay together, even if that means running away from their family to escape all of the conflict. And of course, this is based on the 1957 stage Broadway musical of the same name, came out in the golden age of musicals, and it's also based on the 1961 film adaptation of the same musical, which I'm sure many people, when they announced that they were going to be remaking West Side Story from 1961, everyone was up in arms. Oh my god, you can't do that. It's a classic. You can't touch that at all. You can't update it. What are you going to do differently? And I'll admit, honestly, I was one of those people. But I'm not against remakes. I'm not against reboots if you have something new to tell from the original version. If you don't, if you're just going to do a shot-by-shot remake of the original, then why do a remake? There is no point. Take the cartoon version of The Lion King and the live adaptation version that came out in 2019. They are the exact same movie, shot for shot. But I should have had way more faith in Steven Spielberg, who is the greatest director to ever live, and if he's going to tackle the seemingly impossible task of remaking West Side Story, he's going to have a slightly different version and story to tell. And to be honest, I think the choices that are made in here make this film better than the 1961 version. There, I said it! The 1961 version had a ton of box sets, and it seemed like it was ripped right from the live-action stage onto the screen. And the story is beautiful, the music is beautiful, of course. If you have the 1961 version as your favorite movie, or one of your favorite movies, you get no argument from me. But you do have to be honest with yourself. With that movie, there are some kind of racial problems, I'll say. You have no one of Puerto Rican descent in that movie. It's all white people dressed up in blackface. And of course, Natalie Wood, who I love. She's a great classical actress in my opinion. She wasn't the one singing in that movie though. They hired someone else, a professional, because Natalie Wood just couldn't hack it. In this version, though, they fix all of that. We have accurate representation of the Puerto Rican culture, and hell, just all cultures in this film. And where in the original version they attempted to kind of hit on the racism that was happening in the story, but Hollywood just kind of, whitewashed over it and was like, yeah, it's there, but, it's not that big of a deal. Let's focus on the music and the love story. Here, the racial tension between Puerto Ricans and white people is very prominent, and they talk about it constantly. And they show respect to both people. And it's probably the aspect of the movie that I absolutely love. The Puerto Rican characters in here, they're practicing their English. They want to appear more American, I guess, in the story. So they're trying to speak more English, but they kind of go in between Spanish and English at points in the story. When it goes into Spanish, we don't see the subtitles, and I love that detail. It's a little piece that shows me that Spielberg has so much respect for this other culture, and a language that not many white people in this country can speak fluently. I'm taking Duolingo though, I'm trying, but it tells me that Spielberg is making this movie for everyone, for all cultures, not just for white people going to see a movie about white people and Puerto Ricans. If that was the case, whenever they go into Spanish, we would see the subtitles, and we don't, and I really appreciate that. And this version of West Side Story adds so much to these characters to where you realize, okay, I can see why these people want to be in a gang and why they are taking this so personally with this other gang and why they want to go out and rumble and why they want to beat the crap out of each other. Basically, it shows us that we all have problems, regardless of your skin color, your nationality, where you come from. Everyone has problems, and if we all realize that, then I think the world would be a better place. And if a girl wants to dance with a boy, then by God, let her dance with him. Otherwise, people get hurt, and people get shot and stabbed, and it's so frickin' sad. Oh God. This movie tugs at your frickin' heartstrings. This story tugs at your heartstrings because the story is based on, you go back hundreds of years, back to Shakespeare's time with Romeo and Juliet, which I think it's safe to say is the greatest love story ever told. I mean, just seeing it here in this modern day take on the characters of Romeo and Juliet. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't mean that the characters are not idiots, but it's beautiful. In Romeo and Juliet, they were 17 and 14, I want to say. Here, they're 18, and I think Tony's like 23 or 24. I don't know. He's so freaking tall in this movie, Ansel Elgort is, that he seemed like a dad. There was a moment actually in the dance where he stands next to the chaperones and you can just look at him. You should be there chaperoning. You're not a student here looking for a dance. But I always love being surprised by actors in their musical talents. Ansel Elgort has always been that quiet, kind of quirky, kind of has all the answers but not all the answers type character in films. Thinking like The Fault in Our Stars and Baby Driver. And I was worried because I had never listened to him sing before this film. And when he came on screen and started singing Something's Coming, I was like, son of a bitch! Okay, sir! Is it the best voice I've ever heard? No, but it's pretty damn good. And Ariana DeBose is fantastic as Anita, and I love the moment that she had at the end of this movie with the original Anita, or Rita Moreno. It was beautiful. I was craving for it. Like, come on, you have to have the old Anita meet up with the new Anita, just for us film fans. That was a great moment. And I love the use of Rita Moreno in this film. I mean, if you're gonna have her in a remake of West Side Story, you gotta showcase her as much as possible, and they basically give her the role of Doc in this film. Technically Doc's wife, but she's basically Doc in here. And they give her the song Somewhere to Sing, which brought frickin' tears to my eyes because listening to her sing it, it's so, oh God, it's happening. I'm getting emotional. It's probably not the best film to watch while taking care of a dying kitty. Whew, it's so sad. My situation is so sad. Oh my God. Emotions have been running high these past couple of months. And it's probably going to continue here because I have to talk about Zegler as Maria, who I've never heard of before, never seen before. I went onto her YouTube channel after watching this film and realizing, oh my god, this woman can sing. When she opened her mouth and the notes came out when she was singing Tonight with Ansel Elgort, a smile could not be wiped off of my face. I was so freaking happy. Because my wife and I mean, look, we're gonna be honest, we're kind of snobs when it comes to classical Broadway music like this, especially when it comes to Sondheim. You have to have classical training. You shouldn't be shout singing and belting a lot in a Sondheim musical like West Side Story, like you hear nowadays with Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom, basically anything Idina Menzel does. So to hear this tiny little woman belt out and sing this beautiful music, and it sounds wonderful coming out of her. I was so happy. My wife actually said, who is a professional musician, says she is absolutely wonderful. If you get the stamp of approval from my wife when it comes to singing, you're doing a great job. And she is fantastic. I want to see her in so many more things. I want to listen to her sing many more songs. I'll go onto her YouTube channel later today and listen to all the songs that she has sung on there. Holy crap. She's terrific. Spielberg has created a modern-day masterpiece with this film that was already a masterpiece because he pays so much close attention to detail, especially in the costuming. Maria starts off in pure white, kind of innocent to the whole world and just the world in general. She has little tiny bits of her heritage, of Puerto Rican heritage, and the shark's heritage of red and yellows. But then as the film goes along, you see her colors start to shift into more purples, transitioning all the way into the blues with the jets at the very end. And oh, that final scene with her in that blue dress with the gun. Oh, happening again. And neutral characters like Anita and Valentina you see more in purple colors because it's a combination of both blues and reds representing the two separate gangs. Here are the moral characters of the story who see the goods in both people and just wants everyone to get the fuck along. If only it does. The basis of this story doesn't change. Certain people who need to die do die, and it's heartbreaking because you know it's going to happen, but you don't want it to. The story is beautiful. Spielberg is an amazing director. He is the master of using shadows and silhouettes. There are shots in here where there are robes and cloths being hung in the apartment because they're drying, and you have characters talking through with the light shining through. Absolutely beautiful and stunning. The use of shadow when the gangs are coming together for the rumble, it sends shivers up my spine just how great it is. I haven't seen any of the other nominees for Best Picture yet, so this is by far clearly my front runner for Best Picture at this year's Oscars. It's probably not going to win because West Side Story in '61 won Best Picture then. There's no way in hell that this is going to win, right? Maybe I'll come back in a week and I'm going to eat my words, which would make me very happy. This movie is terrific. I will be honest, I don't have the urge to go back and watch it on repeat and watch this over and over again. I do want to go and listen to these versions of these performers singing these songs, but in terms of rewatching this again, I don't have the urge to do that just because this story is so freaking sad and I can only handle so much emotion right now. But eventually I will be rewatching this again. I may make this a part of my curriculum when I teach my theater classes because it is beautiful. It is wonderful. I'm going to give West Side Story 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and I thought we can continue our look at a lot of the Oscar-nominated films at this year's Oscar next time, and the next one is not nominated for Best Picture, but it is nominated for Best Actor, and that is Tick, Tick, Boom with Andrew Garfield. Now, I'll be honest, but the Academy's like, well, we can only have one musical adaptation in our Best Picture category, and of course that's Spielberg, so we gotta put him in the Best Picture category. But Tick, Tick, Boom is tremendous, and I'm excited to talk about it next time. So guys, if you've seen the new adaptation of West Side Story, what did you think about it? Which do you like more? Do you like the 1961 version or this version? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you on the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Tick, Tick, Boom. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.